Hello, Melton students. It's Liel. I understand some people might be having a little difficulty with the Moodle, so I wanted to do an instructional video just so to clarify a couple things, and hopefully this will help. So what we're going to do, I understand that I'm using a Mac, obviously, right now, Macintosh computer, and you might be using a different kind of computer, which is fine. Basically, what you're going to want to do is go to your browser. My browser happens to be Safari, and you're going to type in the Moodle address, which is moodle2.sc.huji.ac.il, and you should have that site address already in one of your emails. But if you don't, that's what it is. You're going to go to that, click enter, and it's going to take you to this page. At this page, you're going to want to put in your username and password. So this is the 8-digit number that you were given once you completed your application and registered and all that. So this one is mine, and the 5-digit password here, and login. Okay, so it should take you to a page that looks something like this. Mine is slightly different just because I'm not a student. But it's still going to work, and I'm still going to be able to show you most of the things that I want to show you. The first thing what I want you to do is just take note, especially those of you who are already part of the program and maybe have completed courses on Moodle already. Just ensure that you're in 2018, 2019, and you're not in any other maybe data, something from before, because you want to make sure that you're in the correct courses in the correct year. So a lot of this stuff is not important. It looks a little bit like there's a lot on this page. It's very crowded, but don't get overwhelmed. A lot of it is sort of not so necessary in our case. And what I want you to do is I want you to first take a look up here. So it's going to say your name, or it should say your name. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to teach you how to make it say your name. You're going to go down, click this little button right here that you'll see this little window pops up. You're going to click Profile. And over here, you should have the option to click Edit Profile. Over here, it might say your email address. It might not. It depends on what you've set up already. So what I would just do is Edit Profile over here. It's going to ask you to put your name in, your last name in, your email address. And I strongly recommend putting in your Hebrew University email address so that we all have access to it, and that all of the emails that you get from this site will go to that email address specifically. If you choose to, you can put a little description of yourself, and then you can also add a picture of yourself here like I did, which is kind of nice because it helps people sort of identify who you are. The way to add a picture is two ways, really. If you have a picture on your desktop, so I guess for me, that would be somewhere over here, you could just grab it and move it and then drag it to right here, and it'll just kind of upload by itself. If your computer kind of doesn't work that way, you can also, I believe, attach files like this with this little button up here, and access your files to your computer through that, and you can upload right here. Everything else is kind of not so necessary, so you're going to want to click Update Your Profile here at the bottom, and you'll be good to go. So that's up here. Everything else is kind of not so necessary in our case right now. Later in the semester, you might be able to check out your grades over here, but again, that's not, well, in my case, that's totally not necessary, but in your case, you're really not going to have anything there quite yet. So an easy way to sort of help you kind of navigate back to the home page is just kind of always remember that the top right here under your picture, if you have one, it's home. So you're gonna click home to take you back right to this page that again is a little bit crowded, but really most of it we don't use, so definitely don't get overwhelmed. Really the main crucial part of this page that we're going to be using, and that's important for you to know, is this navigation piece right here, the navigation box. That's what really you have to pay attention to. So the couple things in the navigation box, really right here is where you're going to see the current courses that you're taking. So right now we are all taking 63012, 63013, 63014, and that's all of these. You guys should all be enrolled, I believe, in these courses. Maybe some of you guys have prerequisite courses, and so those might come up here as well. So I'm just going to kind of take you through. Keep in mind that some courses open on Mondays, some courses open on Wednesdays, and in terms of the due dates for all the materials and homework and assignments and stuff like that, it's usually 1 week So you have 1 week to sort of get everything done. And all of the timing is on Israel time. So keep that in mind when you're completing your assignments, that if you're really doing it on the very last day, keep in mind that we are we'll be closing the forms and closing the assignments a week later during Israel time. So if you're finishing an assignment very, very close to the deadline, just keep that in mind because it might be hours ahead of you. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go into this first course right here. And all you got to do is click it, okay, and then you'll see this. So this is, again, not to get overwhelmed. It's a page with basically that takes you step by step through the course throughout the whole semester, and you're going to only be able to see the information that you need to see for that 1 week. In other words, what do I mean? Here it says week 1. Right, week 1, a starting point for educational planning. Okay, so this is what Professor Thompson wants you to start with. And as you see, so it opens on October 22nd, it closes on October 28th. And basically what you can do right here is you can start right off the bat going to lesson 1 because that's where we're starting. That's what opened just 2 days ago, yesterday. You're going to click lesson 1. And here you're going to have the list of things that you need to go through. So the first thing you're going to want to do is on the table of contents right here on your left is kind of the step-by-step of how to complete the coursework for this week. So here's the guide. This is the guide for lesson 1. You can glance over it if you want, but really this is the overview. You're going to go into step 2, which is the introduction to the course. It happens to be this week. This is the introduction, so feel free to read this. Some pre-information and understanding kind of like what this lesson's about. In this case, there's housekeeping as well, so you can kind of go over that. It looks like in this course you're going to be working in groups and 2 or 3 participants. So what you're going to want to do is, I guess for this specific course, he wants you to press here to join a group. Which I actually can't do with my program, but if you press there, the site should lead you to where you need to be in to choose a group that you want to be in. As for the lesson itself, so you're going to go to step 4, instructions to the lesson, or introduction to the lesson rather, and here you're going to start watching the videos. Okay, so keep in mind everything that you can find is on the top left. The top left is where we want to focus. So you're going to read these instructions, you're going to watch the video. There is a PowerPoint that comes with every video. Some of you might find it useful, some of you may find it less useful, but basically it is the PowerPoint that the professor is talking in front of. So some of it has information that you guys might want, but really if you can get back to the video and if you want to take notes, that also works. It's not necessary to download the PowerPoint, but if you want to, you can press right here and download it, and it'll go straight to your computer. Once you finish this and you've watched the video, you're going to go to step 5, which Melton Research in this case, that's what it's called. Step 5, okay, so he wants you to follow these instructions here and then watch this video. Okay, after this, you're going to go to step 6. And this is the first part of your form for week 1. So here's a question that you have, and he wants you to discuss the question. You're going to click here. And here we go. We already see several people participated in this forum, which is awesome. I actually can't participate in this forum on my profile, but what you can do is you should be able down here on your account, you should have a button that allows you to join the discussion or add a forum or add a post yourself. So you're going to want to go and do that. Another thing that you're going to want to go and do, and I know that it's encouraged and sometimes required, is to comment on someone else's post. So for example, here we can see that Guy already wrote his comment over here, and you can see up here that already 2 people here have posted. So let's open Guy's for a second, and we can see he wrote his response, and then Claire responded to him. And so if you would like to also partake in this conversation that Guy and Claire are having and add another thought, for example, so what you can do as well is reply here. Reply to Claire maybe, or reply to Guy, whichever one you choose. But either way, that is the way that you can take part of the conversation, especially when it's required of you to participate and not just post, but rather also engaged with other people's thoughts. And that's important. Okay. So that was the form. So we're going to go to step 7 now. So here's another video. by Professor Thompson. Again, press here if you want to download the PowerPoint, that's an option. And then you're going to go to step 8, which is the reading assignment. Now again, this is the reading assignment, and what you can do is you can download the text, or you can download the attachment for the document. So if you want it to be downloaded onto your computer, or maybe onto your Kindle or iPad or something like that, maybe you're reading it on the bus or on the way to work or whatever, so maybe that's a better idea. So you can download it here, and then it'll be saved to your machine, and you won't have to have internet to access it, or maybe you just want to keep the article, which is also great. And then here's, you can download the text as well. And that is how you will be able to read the next assignment. Let's see. Here. So here it pops up for us everything we need, everything he wants us to read. And now if you want to save it to your device, all you have to do, on my computer at least, it's File and then Save. It might be different on your computer, but on most machines, that's going to be how you save this kind of document. So you're going to read his assignment, and then you're going to go back to the table of contents. And the last part of this lesson happens to be step 9, which is a writing assignment. And so here are your instructions, and he writes down very clearly, press here to submit the assignment. Press here to continue to lesson 2, which obviously we're not going to do right now until next week. But if you press here to submit the assignment, let's see. So this is not something that I can submit because I am not a student in this class, but you are going to have an option here to submit. Remember, going back to where we started from, you can always click home if it gets too overwhelming or there's too many things on the screen. You'll go back to the home, things will become a little bit organized, and you'll see your 3 classes up here again. We did the Renewing of Practice of Israel Education with Professor Thompson. The process is the same with the other 2 classes, so I'll just give you a quick example. So we opened this. We're going to start here with the introduction, week 1, lesson 1. We're going to go down here because that's what we're starting with. We open. Okay, and here are the steps in the table of contents, the steps one by one that go through the entire lesson that help us sort of get through it with the assignments, with the forms, with the videos, and all of it. Now, something important to remember is that if there's any kind of confusion, keep in mind that this section right up here, before week 1 begins, this section, you have everything that you need to see. So for example, if the professor wants to communicate with the entire class, sometimes he or she will post in the news form. Okay, so for example, Alex Thompson already posted a few posts. One of them is welcome aboard, and one of them is really getting started. So he might want to communicate certain things with you, and so that's a good place to look just in case you want to sort of see where he's kind of taking the course and what his how he's generally addressing the class. And if for some reason you don't have a syllabus, the syllabus will always be here. If you don't know when things are due, the fall semester timetable will be here, or the course timetable will be here. And all of these sort of instructions that we've sent you before are also here. So that's just going to be here in case that you can't find it in your email or find it anywhere else. And keep in mind also that as you scroll down, you'll get all the weeks, week 2, week 3, week 4. And everything's going to open in their time. So this is October 22nd. It's already open. This will be open October 29th, so that'll be next week when you have to do lesson 2. That is it. I don't think I have anything else to teach you for right now. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to help.